All right. Good morning, guys. I'm out here today. I'm actually going to try to look at a mower. I'm still trying to get over my back surgery, and it's moving along really good. At least I'm up and around. I'm going through physical rehab and physical therapy, and it's moving along pretty good. I guess I'm just impatient because here it is, the end of January. And I was thinking that I would be ready to get up and getting around and doing some work by March. So I still have a month. But I'm going to go ahead and try to tackle something here. Should be a pretty easy one. It's no heavy lifting and all that good stuff. But as I go, if I have to take a break, I take a break. I mean, this is one of my most loyal customers. I have a few of them, and they're commercial customers. When they need their equipment, I mean, that's their bread and butter, right? And this one I'll take a look at. It looks like it's with the wheels and all that. Well, let's take a look at it. Well, here she blows. So you see, this is a Honda. It looked pretty good at one point. It's a fairly new one. It's not that old. HRN 216 kVAA, and it's but you can see I know it runs. He said it kind of what was he saying, with the idle or whatnot, so I think it's just some adjustments, maybe some carburetor cleaning. But you can see what's going on here. It's the wheels. This one just broke completely off. And this front one, you can see there's just no control. And he had it all taped up and everything. I took that off so I can see what's going on. And so I'm going to take this wheel off also, because it looks like everything is loose, and the little bar here, so it's acting like a leaf spring to keep this thing tight, and it is not working. So I'm wondering, do I have to replace this whole piece, or is it just tightening everything up and making sure the spring on this bar is adequate? And with this, it looks like, yeah, it needs the whole thing replaced. And the wheels are just about bald, so I'll probably get just a new set of wheels, get everything rolling for them, and then I'll see how the engine runs. So, all right, well, let's take that front off and we'll see what it looks like. So comparing the two, you can see that one, it just came right off. It's no problem. This piece was intact. This is starting to break apart on that rim. I don't think it's actually going to make that big of a difference. The wheel came apart right at the axle, right there. And okay, so that's an easy fix. I'll just get a new set of tires and put it back together. Let's take a look at the front. Now this one's pretty questionable. It's I don't know if you can see that. So the little latch here, it's the spring loaded. It's supposed to be popping into those grooves, and it isn't. So I don't know if it's the cause of the spring here, but this whole thing is just really, really loose, right? And the wheels aren't busted up, but they are flat, especially that one. But yeah, I was trying to get you in a spot here where you can see what I'm doing. And So here's the piece in question, right? And it sure seems awfully loose. I took a look underneath and it's kind of covered up. I'd probably have to, yeah, and there's some bolts. I'd have to take that plate off, but I don't think that's the problem. I think, see, I was wondering if this spring, if the spring load right here was, you know, bent back or whatever, not strong enough. But I think the problem is, all right, yeah, so that's the piece I'm worried about. Was this thing just all bent out of shape? If I try to bend that back, would it latch on there a little better? Well, I'd have to say I'm kind of disappointed with these later Hondas. You can see I went in and replaced the wheels. That was no problem. But while I was looking at this lever here, so this one, it's all on one side, and he used this to control up and down on both, you know, on the full front, right? And the more I looked at this, it was like, man, it's just a piece of junk. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. So I was expecting to see some damage, something, you know, that was causing this thing just to pop open real quick. And it's just this spring. I mean, this lever, of course, the way it's connected. You know, you've seen these before all the time, and it's like a leaf spring, right? So it keeps tension on it, but this one is just so weak. You know, I was gonna buy a replacement for him. I was like, how long is that gonna last? It's gonna do the same thing. So what I'm gonna propose to him is, because this, he does use this on a, you know, commercial properties. So he uses it quite often, right? And pretty roughly at that. So I'm gonna say, is there a setting where, you know, you just put it and leave it? If it's 2 inches off the ground, 1.5 inches, whatever, and I'm gonna make it permanent, you know? Like, as you take the wheel back off, once I get this, say if he wants it right there or there, you know, whatever he wants, I'm going to take this wheel off, and I am just going to drill a hole through here and screw that leaf, this lever, right into place, right? And it won't be adjustable anymore, but if that's what he uses all the time, then why not, right? It'll just save him time, and won't have to keep messing with that. So one thing I noticed, so I had put this, you know, I raised it up so that I can see if there's any adjustments I can make with this axle, you know, up on the front. But man, I took a look at this. You can see all the crap that was coming off of it, and there's still a lot of it there. But the main thing is, man, these blades are dull as hell. They look pretty worn. I'm going to take these off, and we'll sharpen the blades for them. Then we'll see how it runs. That belt looks a little worn too, but I think it'll still make it. Man, he went through some crap with this thing, didn't he? Yeah, I'd have to say, this guy, he's a great customer, great guy, but man, he is rough on his equipment. All right. Yeah, look at that. That thing is beaten to hell. So this blade has been chewed up pretty bad. You can see how it's just worn down on both sides. So after I sharpen this sucker, we're really going to have to make sure it's balanced. Even the
the back end, the tips here are gone on both sides. This one's a little better, so, but this one I'm going to sharpen it down, but I'm going to tell them after this season I'd probably replace them. But at least I still have my balancer here. Man, this thing has been out here for over a year, and it's still doing its job. All right, well, it's sharp, but man, it sure is lopsided, isn't it? Well, let's see how it looks here. Verify it. All right, so let's take a little more off this side. Heavy over there. Tough one. Oh, that's not bad. All right, that should do it. All right, well, let's put these blades back on, and we'll see how it cranks. Let's see, how'd that go? This way. All right, let's tilt this sucker back down and lower the lift. My lift needs a new bed, doesn't it? Well, let's see if it'll start. Needs a new handle. Man, he is just Well, it cranked right up, no problem. But I remember when he did drop this off, he was complaining about the idle speed, and it did seem kind of low. So we'll take a look at that. I think that got it. I just bent that little tab. I was almost going to see about adjusting the governor, but nah, I think it was just that little tab. I had to bend it out a little bit, get a little more tension on the spring. Yeah, that's much better. Well, I think that is ready to go. It does need a new handle here. That ended up was chewing my finger up. Let me see if I can find an extra handle. Well, all right, that wasn't too bad. Just put new wheels on it. The rear one needed it really bad, but they were all pretty bald. That front piece, it was the adjuster on it, you know, to adjust the height. And that spring-loaded piece, I mean, it was just bent out of shape. I bent it back the best I could, but I have a feeling it's going to do it again. And even if I would have bought a new piece, eventually it's going to be in the same position, right? The thing, it just bends really easy, and kind of a cheap bracket, if you ask me, is the spring. So I'm going to let him ride the way it is now and tell him exactly what I said. And if it starts to do him again, if he has a permanent setting that he's always mowing on, I can, you know, take that wheel off. I'll drill a hole through that spring into the bracket and bolt it down. And boom, problem solved. It just won't be adjustable on the front. What else? The blades were in really bad shape, so I sharpened those for him and balanced them. It took a little while to balance that bottom blade, but I'd give it one more season, and I'll just tell him he needs a new blade set. They were pretty bad, and everything else. I mean, the oil's great. Put a new air filter on it and adjusted the idle for him, and put a new handle on his pull rope. So just a little TLC here and there, but the wheels were a must. But I guess that's it. Felt good to get back out here. So this is my first repair job after my back surgery 3 months ago, and feels good to be back out here. And it's a beautiful day. I can't believe it's 80-something degrees. But it's towards the end of February, so we could still have a freeze over here in Texas. And but I guess that's it. You know, it's great to be working on something. It was I'm enjoying it. I think I'll find another project to do while it's really nice out here. But either that or I'll go fishing. And but I guess that is it for this video. And as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and watch for my next video.